I'm amped. Y'all know what time it is, man. You're listening to the All Burgundy and Gold Everything Commanders postgame show powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. On Monday night, the Washington Commanders upset the Cincinnati Bengals 38-33. You can already tell I'm lit and ready to go. I'm Wole. I'm joined with my co-hosts, Glenn and George. What's good, fellas?
Not too much. All is well. If you was a gambling man, you made a lot of money if you bet on Commanders because 8-point spread was too much. But anyway,
we got underdog of the weekend. Biggest underdog of the slate.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about, man. Just happy to be a Commanders fan, and then I think we watched this team early on one of the most complete games that we've seen from a Washington Commanders team in a long time.
Definitely. But real quick, man, let's get into particulars so we can dive into this game, man, for real. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. If you're new to the YouTube channel, hit that red subscribe button. Also, like this video. All right, let's get right into it. Hey, Glenn, I'm going to start with George. George, what were your thoughts on this great victory?
This is the best Monday night for a Washington Redskins football team Commanders fan since the 2005 Monday Night Miracle. Honest to goodness, there were real tears of joy cried during this game. It's at several moments. Jaden Daniels he's our Moses. He has taken us out of the desert to the land of milk and honey. I apologize if people get offended that I'm getting biblical, but this is a biblical. This is what it feels like. We have been in the desert so long, and we have waited for a quarterback to get us out, and we thought we had one with Robert, and it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. We got one this time. That performance for a team that is the worst primetime team in NFL football in this century, unbelievable.
You ain't lying, man. It was beautiful. A sight to behold. Glenn, your thoughts, bro?
I thought I think I told you guys before he went live here. My hat's off to the Washington Commanders, but my hat is also off to Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn because there was several fourth downs there. Especially the last drive where they did not shy away, right? Yeah. They didn't go Scott Turner. They didn't run the ball. They did what was best, right? Early on in the beginning of the game, they set the tone of the game. The 4th and 2, right? Everybody thought they were going to run, hit McCaffrey, right, for 37 yards, get him down to the 1 and 2 yard line. And then at the end of the game, you saw, you thought they were just going to get in field goal range and let's kick a field goal, but they hit Terry McLaurin in the end zone. I thought the play calling tonight was great. I know everybody's going to talk about players, Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels, but I want to take my hat off to Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury for having the gut, right? We used to call Riverboat Ron. I don't know what nickname you get for Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury, but again, they gambled tonight and the team was flying around. And that's one thing too. This team came out with energy. They came out. They got punched in the mouth at the beginning, right? Let's be honest. Cincinnati drove down the field, scored Jamar Chase with a 41-yard touchdown. And I know a lot of Commanders fans are like, oh, my goodness, like what, right? But this team came back and answered the bell. They answered the bell, and it kept rolling from there, right? Was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks in a row we haven't seen Tressway?
That's right.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
Seen Tressway.
Amazing. So I'm gonna get into it. First off, who went at number one? Who went at number one wide receiver?
Terry's back.
Who went at number one?
Oh my Lord!
Let that be known. He's a number one. He's one of them.
He cooked the you-know-what out.
He cooked him. He cooked him a bunch of times. And Jaden laid that thing right on the money. I don't want to hear nothing. Mark, where my man Mark at? You right. Jaden Daniels and scary freaking Terry McLaurin were unbelievable. They were. That was a great performance by Jaden. Great performance by Terry. A great performance. Real talk. That O-line, yes. Jared, yes. That O-line was solid, man. That O-line, like, we came into this season saying that this O-line is scary. Truth be told, this O-line has been way more impressive than I ever would have thought. Jaden has time in the pocket to look through things. And you can see, and this is the thing people calling hate. It ain't hate. I wanted to see growth. And I've seen growth from Jaden from week 1 to week 3. It's like amazing where his growth has been as a pocket passer. Like, yeah, you could tell at first people had to be wide open for him. He wasn't anticipating. Now he's anticipating stuff. Look how he would hit Zach Ertz up the middle. Like, he is now in his groove, and he is getting better week after week. What did Cincinnati do? Said they run a bunch of college plays. Oh yeah, them college plays got you though. Those so-called college plays got you though. They got you though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. Like, and real talk. Before he got this is another one. Man, Austin Eckler got hurt. I hope he's recovering soon. He gave us a man that spark by that man, bro. I went on. I was texting my friends. I said, you know what? This may be the best free agent sign I've ever seen in my life. I know it's hyperbole. I know. But that man, Austin Eckler, remember when they signed us? Like, oh, we got B-Rock. I was wrong. Austin Eckler, different. Special teams ace, third down, big play running back. Just an overall big play running back. He doesn't go down. He has all the wiggle. He makes life easy for your quarterback and your offense, man. This performance
that kick return might be the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, for real. How they get a field goal to end the half. Austin Eckler takes that return, takes it down, makes it easy to score another touchdown. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Like, this offense with Jaden is just going to get better with the running game they have. That two-headed monster. Obviously, also we got to see how Eckler feels with the concussion. But it's a problem, man. And I'm not going to lie, man. Get 2012 vibes. I ain't going to hold you. Get 2012 vibes. I'm getting there.
Interesting fact. Terry McLaurin's first 4 catches, 100 yards, 25 yards per catch. I told you in the pregame it was about yards after catch, right? First 100-yard game since December the 17th against the Rams, right? 2023, right? It's been that long. It's been that much of a drought, right? Been that long. So Terry, again, we talked about it. Candy talked about it. Everybody talked about it on the pregame. Mm-hmm. There were people that names had to be called tonight. You called every one of those names tonight. Even on the defensive side early, you called Deron's Payne's name. You called Jonathan Allen's name a little bit, right? But I tell you what you didn't see, and if you got to watch it, you called Johnny's name today too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you watch some of the plays that he made, right? He made some plays. The young rookie made some plays, right? And he made some plays big time. Even Dahami came in and made a play. Now, I was praying for Dahami because he got lit.
Oh, man, he got lit. He tried to make a play, though. He went all out for that one.
No, and we wouldn't have converted that 1st and 15 without it.
Yeah.
I think it was the 1st and 20 or whatever it was.
Everybody had energy, and that's one thing that you can say about this team. It was energy tonight. They came out with a mindset. It was a must. They treated this like a must-win game. Right? They treated it like a must-win game, and they went in and fought the bully, and they won. Right? It wasn't pretty. We'll get to the whole defense and everything later. It wasn't pretty.
That was pretty. Right? That game was pretty. I don't know what you're talking about. That game was pretty.
No.
What you talking about? That game was pretty, bro.
I'm being realist. It was pretty from the offensive side. It's not pretty from the defensive side when you give up 396 yards.
I don't care about the defense. They don't mean nothing to me. They suck. They've been trash.
You give up.
They've been trash.
Gotta be honest. 396.
Let's stay. We gotta stay negative. We gotta stay positive first. We're gonna get to the negative.
We
stay positive.
All right, let's stay positive. Hey, at least the defense. But one positive thing about the defense early on, they were stopping Cincinnati and making them kick field goals.
Red zone, they were
in the red zone. They were stopping them in the red zone, making them kick field goals and not giving them touchdowns. So which I thought was good. I thought Joe Witt Jr. had a good plan of bracketing at
the end.
Jamar Chase.
At the end.
But not at the beginning. But now Cincinnati game planned them into getting Chase one-on-one, right? You don't bring the safety up, you keep the safety over top. And then he took a gamble and he lost.
He did a couple times. But it's okay though. I won't get on. I won't be negative on Joe Witt because that'll be later when I talk negatives. Ed Gadd said this is pretty much the same schedule as RG3 2012 rookie year. It's about to be magical. Bruh! I got them vibes, bruh. I got them vibes.
That defense prevents me from going there, but I want to say this.
We don't need to talk about
that touchdown. We'll get to it. The second the touchdown to McLaurin at the end.
Woo.
Burrow's making that throw. Mahomes is making that throw. Rodgers is making that throw. Allen's making that throw. And maybe Anthony Richardson, even though he's got his issues. There ain't anybody else making that throw in this league. There's 5 guys maybe making that throw.
I'm go ahead, George. Keep going.
He gets absolutely smacked. The worst hit he probably took all night, just about. Mm-hmm. And he puts that ball up there. And Terry McLaurin makes a great catch, but it's a perfect throw, and he just had to throw it. Like, he couldn't wait for it, like they were talking about on one play. He missed it because he was waiting to see it. He didn't wait to see that throw. And, again, there ain't hardly any quarterbacks but about 4 or 5 in the league that can make that throw he made to seal the win. Well, goodness.
Not only the throw, give Terry some credit for getting the knee down, as smart as he is to get the knee down, right? Because that was a big part there.
That's Terry's excellence. Honestly, you're right to say it because I think we're so spoiled by the things Terry's done that it's almost easy to overlook that. But that was brilliant from Terry on that.
That's the number 1 wide receiver stuff.
It sure is.
Like that's some number 1. Like when you regular, you don't make that play. I'm not gonna lie to you because you squeeze on the sideline, a bomb, and you got to get that knee down. That's not an easy play to make. Number 1 dudes do this.
But I mentioned this early in the week, and you wasn't on with me and George was on the podcast earlier this week.
Good show. I wanted to tell y'all, great show.
That Terry McLaurin would be the guy. They're not going away from Terry McLaurin. See, what happened is everybody want to create chaos in the Washington's locker room. Terry wasn't concerned. He knew his time was coming. Look at him, and he knew it was coming. He knew they wouldn't get there. That him and the young guy was going to get him and Jaden Daniels was going to get on the same page. It's only week 3. You can't. It was at the time. It was only week 2. You can't push the panic button, right? We told you on the podcast, don't push the panic button yet. Don't go ahead and crown Noah Brown because guess what? It's not there yet. Now Noah has some good catches as well. That's
yes, he did.
That's why I like about and let's not forget about Zach Ertz, right? Because Zach Ertz has some good catches, has some big catches late in the 4th quarter where Terry McLaurin put him on it, right? He trusts Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz maybe he's an the old veteran, but he is a sure catch guy. And guess what? Everybody made this. This is a team win, right? Yeah. This is a team win. Jaden McDaniels went 21 for 23, right? 21 for 23. The 2 he missed was one that he missed Terry wide open, right? Yep.
When he was getting hit as he threw.
Terry wide open, and he missed the one late, right? But again, 21 for 23. And not to mention, 3 games in and no interceptions. Matter of fact, this Washington Commanders team
turnovers 0.
This Washington Commanders team is 3 games in and they have no turnovers, right? They put the ball on the ground. They could have more turnovers. They put the ball on the ground, but they've been able to recover everything, and that's because of effort and hard work.
And what about
Murder Mafia 86, 91% NFL record exactly
for a rookie? Yeah, but
amazing.
When they had to have it in the 4th,
2 punts, two games, no punts. Paul, you're right. Round of applause.
Yes.
Hey, I'm about to give some people flowers. I'm about to give Jaden flowers. Cliff Kingsbury, I was hating on you too. You get flowers from me. Flowers.
How about this though? When they had to have it because the Bengals came at them and they get that ball and have a 7.5 minute drive, almost 8, and get that touchdown. That's the sort of drives we thought they had to have all night. But when they really needed to have it, they just kept the chain moving. They made these plays. They got out of 1st and 15 and 2nd and 20. When have you ever seen Washington do that twice in a drive? We've seen teams do that to Washington. I don't know how many times. Just the confidence that this coaching staff now has in Jaden Daniels and this offensive line because they're hand in hand, and the confidence Jaden's got to get from this. Wow.
No, it's amazing. I feel like I said, what I like about what's going on with Jaden is that he's getting better every game. You see the growth. And I think if you're a Washington fan, you're excited about it. Yeah, Paul, the best college offense in the NFL. It's a freaking amazing. It's a freaking amazing.
Cam Taylor
Britt. Get that work, Cincinnati. All right,
I'd hide my face if I was Cam Taylor Britt. I'd be hiding. I wouldn't go out in public for the next week.
Yes, we got us a QB.
Yes, sir.
Jaden, and no way I like about it, he did it on Monday night for everybody to see. Now the NFL, somebody put it out there early. The NFL shook. They don't notice. Here you go. George said this. They're on notice.
I've always said it. I've always
They're
said
on
it.
Notice.
Said on podcast. They have a face of the franchise now.
Yes, sir.
This is the face of the franchise. You want your face of the franchise to be your quarterback. This kid is the face of the franchise.
Oh yeah, he is definitely. Look, yeah, so rare to do it on a Monday night. Exactly.
That's the whole point.
You know what I'm saying? George, tell him what you said, George. It's the best what since Monday night? The best what, George? You said?
This is the best Monday night since the Monday Night Miracle in 2005.
Who gonna argue with my man George? Who gonna argue with him? Embrace it.
Commander fans are walking into work tomorrow like Vince McMahon coming down the aisle.
Yes, sir.
With your shoulders back. Oh, you just walk into work.
Here you go. Not like Vince McMahon. Don't get canceled, Vince. Hey, Rob. Just how we have to travel again on a short notice. Yeah, we got Arizona. We got to go to Arizona.
Well, that's the thing, but they're going straight out there. They're not going back to Washington.
Which is good.
Man, a lot, and all
ESPN run and talk about this. Yeah. Talk about this, ESPN. Yes, give us our love. We number ones. Hey, Glenn, now you can say it. We first place in the division for real. We got a real win. We're in first place in the division for real.
No more Travis Hunter talk.
No more Travis Hunter talk for me. You won't hear me say that anymore. I want the division now. I'm on the Kool-Aid with some Casamigos. I want the division. I want it.
Hold on, no. Don't jump with that. You don't jump.
I'm there. No, I'm there now. Once you show me, it's over. You got it. Once you show me, it's over. It's lit now. We here now.
So hold up.
I want the division.
I'm that guy. I'm gonna mess with you. So is this no longer a rebuild?
No, ain't a rebuild. I want the division. I want it all. They didn't show me. They messed up. They done messed up. They done messed up. It's their fault. I want this now. It was I was on Travis. I was on the Travis Hunter Bowl. I want this now.
It's a rebuild on defense.
Hey Ray, you see? I know you're in the chat, Ray. You see how you
laughing at
up, Ray? Ray, you're Ray.
It's a rebuild on defense, but this offense looks ready right now.
So you call it what you want to call it. The time is now. The time is now. Welcome to my Paul. We together now. I'm here now, Paul. I'm here now.
To be fair, the rest of this division is in shambles. The Giants are the Giants. The Eagles locker room, they won this week. The next time they lose, they'll be at each other's throats. And the Cowboys are a mess. They are completely and utterly dysfunctional. So the division.
Yeah. Hey, Tom said, real talk. We would have had 35 points last week. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot last week. We scoring. Dude, we're not putting the ball, bro.
Real talk. Hey, Taj, that's a good point there. Real talk there. Would have been 35 points last week as well. Correct.
Yeah. We're not putting the ball. We're not putting the ball at all.
When have you seen a Washington game where they not only didn't punt the ball, they didn't turn it over, they didn't have a penalty for 3 quarters?
Yeah.
That's one of the most mind-boggling things is that they had one drive with 2 penalties and every other drive, 0.
Wasn't that one of the best zone reads you saw that you ever seen?
The one he hit at the goal line?
When he walked into the zone, when he walked in the end zone.
It's perfect, man. I feel like him and B-Rob got the best. Like, in that situation, there's nothing you can do about that. Like, I feel like at that 1 yard line, he can take or whatever. Because he's physical enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Mike.
What I like.
I'm done, bro. I'm done, Mike.
You know what you saw tonight, and we
talk
about this real quick. What we saw tonight was you saw an offensive line who was determined to redeem themselves from last week. They was willing to redeem themselves from the debacle that they had in the red zone last week. This team was able to move on, punch the ball in. B-Rob was getting in. I mean, you look at the touchdown people tonight. You look at the people who scored touchdowns tonight. You had Jaden Daniels who scored a rushing touchdown. You had Austin Eckler who scored a rushing touchdown. You had Brian Robinson who scored a rushing touchdown. You had Terry McLaurin who got the catch, and you got Jaden Daniels, and then you got Trent Scott who got the other touchdown, right?
Grambling State, Grambling, HBCU, Trent Scott, touchdown. Let's go.
So you had the running game going in the passing game going 108 yards on the ground tonight, rushing, and you had 254 in the air. I mean,
Can we go back to what Rory said?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
Because depleted my foot. They had Joe Burrow. They had their number one running backs who ran the ball against us.
They got Higgins.
They had E.T. Higgins back, and he had a good game. They had Jamar Chase. They had Gesicki, and the Romanian guy. I thought it was Ias, but it's apparently pronounced something else. They had. I mean, I don't know who they were. They had a couple of guys missing on their defensive line. Okay, fine.
They wasn't
depleted my foot.
They're not depleted.
Let me also address that. Let me also address that too. He's in the defense. Yeah, the defense was depleted. All right, I get you.
Yeah, defense.
But they still should have beat Washington. They didn't. So I don't even care. They ain't depleted enough.
Joe Barrows has.
We talking about a so-called college offense. I don't even want to hear it. That's what they said. So if they said that, that means they could have beat it, and they didn't. So whatever it is, they still look. Joe Burrow is dope, but he could score one more touchdown more than us. So it ain't depleted enough. Didn't they just compete with Kansas City too?
Yeah.
Didn't they almost beat Kansas City?
That's right.
Yeah,
so
this team.
Were they depleted then?
Yo, this Cincinnati team is in the bottom of the NFC, AFC, right? North. They're in the bottom, and you got Pittsburgh, you got Baltimore coming. I ain't talk about Cleveland. Cleveland is on a whole different level, but they 0-3. I don't want to hear depleted because this team came in, and can we be honest real quick? Mm-hmm. This team, if Washington doesn't gamble and get a touchdown, and I know a lot of you fans were out there, you was holding your breath. You were like, oh, Washington got to score a touchdown. Washington had to score. You didn't want to field goal. You wanted a touchdown because you knew that if Joe Barrows had the ball back one more time, with 2 timeouts, that it was going to be, it might have been a done deal, and we were going to be sad on this podcast. Let's be honest.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear depleted because this team, this Cincinnati team, is a decent football team and probably still be a playoff team.
Dude, this is the thing. It can't be. Washington can't feel good about this win. Look at Vegas. Look how Vegas did put it out there. Vegas had us losing big time. We were the
underdog of the slate.
Yes. So obviously we're not favorites, and that's with being depleted. So go ahead, George.
And let me add this: in that big Survivor contest they run in Vegas, the $10,000 one, the Bengals were the number 1 pick this week.
That's exactly. So what are we doing here? Roy, you my guy right now, but what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here, bro?
I do want to give.
Troy Aikman said that player who said that has to eat his words. Of course he does.
Of course he does.
He should not go out in public for at least a week.
Hey,
Dan Taylor Britt, hide your face.
Shout out to Frankie Louvu, man.
Yeah, you play good.
Yeah.
Louvu swatted some key balls down. He was in the right place, and he for the last 2 weeks.
Too.
But Louvu did it earlier in the game. Batista had one late, but Louvu did one earlier when he tipped in the middle of the field. I was going for third down, third and long. Louvu has been there. I think we saw this defense rally to the ball a lot. We even had a Jamin Davis sighting. You know what I'm saying? But
Jeremy Chin, just like Candy Waller talked about on the pregame.
Jeremy Chin had a play early in the first half to separate the play.
Like he had a play. We can talk about the defense now if we want to. We can talk negative now. First off, go ahead. I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, Jeremy's in there, and then you had Newton tonight as well. Newton ended up with 4 tackles, which were key tackles. Good to see him on the field. All right. Good to see him on the field. Washington did get pressure early. Didn't get a lot of pressure late, but got pressure early, which was key there. And so I mean we saw some things decent from this defense. Secondary still needs help. Okay,
so let's talk about this defense now. Let's be a little next. You know what, Mike? I'm gonna do this. Mike, we're gonna do this later. We're gonna do it towards the end because I want to talk about this negative real quick. But we're gonna get to this though. This defense is trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really bad. Shout out to, and I want to say this. I'm gonna get back to a little bit more positive, man. Our kicker is clutch, man.
Yes.
I will say this, man. When he kicks it, I don't have my heart doesn't hurt. Like it doesn't. Like it doesn't. I don't have that vibe. You know, usually you'd be like, "Who? Please make it. Please make." I don't have that vibe. I feel good. Like I can sit back in my couch. I could chill. I'm like, this is good. I know it's good. This is good. So I feel good about that. Wait, back. Yeah. So to what Rory talking about. Yeah. 8 for 8. I know, bro. He can't miss. I don't want to jinx him. Knock on wood. He the man. He can go to any DC club and he be good. Any lounge. Get him for free. Like he good. Yeah, the zone defense is trash, Rory. Yeah, I know. All right, so let's get back to defense. Like, can't cover. I don't know what Joe Witt is doing. I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm never putting Jamar Chase. I'm a Michigan dude. I love
Poor Mikey.
Mikey. I think Mikey's awesome. I think Mikey's going to be really good. But you don't put Mikey or any rookie or rookie or somebody trying to get their feet wet in the NFL one-on-one with Jamar Chase. And I do understand that, truth be told, like Butler was supposed to be over the top and help, and he was a little late. And that's another thing about Percy Butler, who's getting a lot of burn, that I'm always I want to see what y'all see, because the Percy Butler, what he's doing is what he always does. Like, he's been the same person in coverage since he's gotten the opportunity. So I'm trying to work with Witt, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Must use Percy, and no knock on Percy Butler. I'm sure he's a phenomenal person. So this is not a knock on him. But what he's done, how he plays safety is consistent. He is consistent on how he plays safety. Like, he's late a lot of times on the help. And that's the thing that gets me. And I'm like, all right, what makes him better than Defoe? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Chin hasn't been great either. Chin had a play, but Chin wasn't good either. He had a pass. He got lucky because that was a pass interference. He got lucky. He got bailed out because that was a pass interference in the end zone.
It was.
So I don't like. So he's a like. The secondary as a whole is some trash. Then you talk about the defensive line. Yeah, they had a couple pressure plays, but it wasn't nothing. Again, they're not getting enough pressure. They're just not. They're not getting enough pressure. I don't like the tackling. The tackling is trash. The defense, and this is what kills me, is because this doesn't feel like a Dan Quinn defense. This is what bothers me. And what my man Todd say, Witt is showing his inexperience as a defensive play caller. I refuse to believe that these players forgot how to play. I refuse to believe that, fellas. I don't think they're talented, but again, I don't think that they're that bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not a great defensive unit, but they can't be that bad. Because I've seen Dan Quinn take over less talent and make that defense look, I want to say like top 5, but top 10-ish. Like, I've seen him do that. And I don't know what Joe Witt is. Like, I don't know if it's the talent or just, I don't know if it's flat out just all Joe Witt or the talent, but I refuse it. But I kind of like leaning towards more Joe Witt, to be honest with you. Rory said, what did Rory put out there? I saw what Rory said. Rory said a DQ defense, Atlanta. I thought his Atlanta defense was good. He came over and took over that defense and made them fast. I don't know what this is right here, man. I can't lie to you.
Well, can we start with this?
It is
Father Time's caught up to bat Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, Wagner. Don't look at the tackles, right? Look what Wagner.
He missed some tackles too. Bobby missed.
He missed them, but look, Wagner still was involved in a lot of plays, right? He might have missed a step.
Yeah, but
he got caught behind a couple different times. I mean, some of them Zach Moss runs.
Let's put in perspective. He's better than what you had last year.
Fact. I mean, that's not an argument. See, no one's saying that. No one's saying that. But that's Bobby Wagner is still not like
this year.
No. You got to still hold people accountable for what they are. I'm not saying he's better than what they had last year. That's not an argument. Louisville missed tackle. He's way better than what we had last year.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that but we talk about Bobby. I rate Bobby Wagner to Bobby Wagner. I'm not rating him nobody else. I'm rating Bobby Wagner to what. So I get what George is talking about. Bobby Wagner to Bobby Wagner standards, he's looking a little old.
Yes.
To Bobby Wagner, and that is a fact. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Bobby to Bobby standard is like looks a little old. That's all I get. George, I get exactly what you're talking about.
I got what you're saying. He look a little old, but he still leads his team in tackles.
Look, but I mean,
has to.
We're talking about a guy that's getting a gold jacket, though.
Yeah.
And I think Dan Quinn brought him in not just as somebody who could be a coach on the field, but as somebody who might have had a year left in him. And I think he might be. I think the tank might be on E now.
This is a better example.
I agree with you.
When London
is 2 years too late that Bobby Wagner should have been a commander 2 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. They should have been there a little earlier.
That's the
I agree
point.
with that. But I would say, but he's still good for this team. He's good for this culture. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I'm glad
that's
he's
true.
here. What I'm saying is like, all right, it's not like, because I think we all had the vibes like when he came here, it'd be like when London came here.
Right.
When London came here, you still had the London. Like you still had that same London Fletcher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with that. Like, it's still years better. I agree with you. It's years. It is, yes, hours better than Boston Mail put together. I agree with
Yes.
that.
Thank you,
I
Mike.
totally agree with that.
Thank you.
Yes.
I totally agree with that. But I get it. You said like Bobby's good, but he won't be out. Like that exactly. This is my point.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is when we got Bobby, we were thinking we was getting the Bobby like we got like how we got London. Like we got an older linebacker, but he was still playing like London. You get what I'm saying? So I get that. But if don't keep, I am not looking at Bobby like, oh, we need to get rid of Bobby. No, he's still a blessing. Don't get it twisted.
Absolutely.
He's still a blessing. Like I still think he's teaching everybody out here. Like Bobby made tackles, he ain't stopping or preventing stuff. Ooh, I'm sorry, wrong one. We ain't no cursing out here. We don't. Yeah, no Roy. We can't curse over here, man.
He changed. But I think Wagner, Luvu, and those guys, they're changing the culture in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you see
Agreed.
that culture change. Dan Quinn changing the culture. I think Woolley or you or Joe, you or George mentioned it on the pregame. Some of these players coming from winning cultures. And they bring it into this organization, right? They're not used. Some of these coaches are not used to losing, right?
Yeah.
Some of these people that's over here are used to winning, and they bring the culture in here. They know what they have. They see it in practice. They see it in the locker room. They see it in film. And now we starting to see it on the field because this team could have easily tucked their tail and ran from that. Even though they got a win last week, it wasn't pretty, right? It wasn't pretty. They got a win last week. It wasn't pretty. They could have tucked their tail and came out flat, right? They came out flat last year against the Chicago Bears, right? When it was on a primetime game.
Got destroyed.
Right, got destroyed by a Bears team that hadn't won a game, right? So what you see here, as we said in high school all the time, is a culture shift. This right here, this game was a defining culture shift game.
Oh, I agree.
I don't care what people say. They beat a playoff team from last year that hadn't lost much, who had all their weapons. You had a
they go to playoffs last year. They didn't go to playoffs last year.
Oh man, excuse me.
I know you're talking about when Burrow was healthy. I know you're talking about year before.
Yeah, Burrow was healthy. But again, you see a team where they had Jamar Chase, they had Higgins. Higgins just came back. Right? This team still put up yards. I don't care what anybody says. This team, they beat a good football team.
Yeah, Paul said, well, time to make some business decisions on the defense. Hey, bro, I don't know, bro. I will say this. I don't know if they're going to do it. They need to, but I don't know they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I think they got their guys.
If Derek Forrest can't crack the lineup after this week, then I don't know.
I know.
I don't know because you've got to shake it up in that secondary some kind of way because it is. I mean, seriously, they got roasted tonight. Yes, they got a couple of key stops to get some field to make them kick some field goals and this and that. But I didn't see what the final numbers were. But even with the stat padding, Cincinnati probably had to be well in excess of 300 yards.
Oh, yeah, 324 yards by Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, there you go. And again,
they ran the ball well. They ran the ball like I think.
Yeah, I mean Zach Moss was dashing up for 5 and 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, Moss had.
And if we're talking negatives,
Chase Brown had 62 yards. Moss had 58 yards.
I mean, they ain't the Alabama wall anymore. They're the Alabama paper mache because
total yards
not enough from them two guys again.
It's trash.
Gave up 448 yards of total offense.
So even if you take the last drive off because it's stat padding, arguably, you're still looking at 370 yards of total offense.
I'm not even taking the last drive off. I feel like they need to man up. We got bigger problems than the defense. What you got? What's worse than our defense? Our defense is horrible. I think that's the worst. I think our defense is like god awful.
I mean, that's the only reason I would tamp down the 2012 vibes talk.
Our defense wasn't that good either in 2012, though.
It wasn't, but it wasn't this bad either. They could stop.
Oh no!
Occasionally, they could stop somebody.
Yeah, my man.
And I think they actually late in the year during that win streak, they actually did stop a few teams.
Yeah, they did. They had some guys play hard. I actually think this. I actually think this unit is more talented than that unit.
It could be.
I think that unit just played tougher. Like they just played tougher.
Well, again, you got guys like Forrest and Anusium who are either practice squad or been inactive or whatever. I think you got to take a look at them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know there ain't a lot of great players out there in free agency, or on the street right now.
Yeah,
I don't really care at this point because it's like
you're gonna have to go with this. You're gonna have to go with this because this is just there's not that many players available right now. Todd said, "Where's Greg Williams? Don't he coach the defenders? I need him back, man. You know I love Greg, man. Greg can come back and coach this team.
Greg can come back anytime, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I think the O-line was the O-line was good, bro. I think this O-line has been good. It's been better.
I mean, it was a lot better than better than the first two games, in my opinion.
Yeah, this O-line, I thought they performed.
We didn't hear one thing about Wally.
And Nick Allegretti recovering that fumble, that was a big play.
Huge, man, huge.
And we haven't heard one thing about Wally.
Who?
Oh no, I said Wally didn't do anything negative this week. The offensive line, not true.
Wiley didn't.
Oh, Wiley was me. Oh, I said my man. I said me. What did I say? I wasn't something negative about something.
The offensive line, you didn't see much. The offensive line, I mean, he didn't get sacked until late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, they did their job. They created lanes.
Hendrickson got through. Yeah.
Hendrickson got through. You saw the they was even setting up running out the ball for screens. I mean, this offensive line was on fire today. Again, it was a redemption tour from last week for them. Because I think Todd said it. Washington could have had 25 last week.
He said 30. He said 30 something.
35.
Yeah, no, he's right. And he's absolutely right.
He's right.
And so they want to redeem themselves.
Looking at our 2012 defense roster was bad in regards of talent. I told you it was, man.
Yeah.
I think this roster has better. That's the wild thing. Like the 2012 roster on defense was not good. It was not good, and they still today they just it seems like a better coach. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, get your boy Paul. Luke played well.
Who? Luke McCaffrey?
He made some plays.
I've said this. I've changed my tune on how I talk about receivers because I feel like I watched some stuff and some of these dudes were open. So I decided to say, you know what? It's up to the quarterback to get you the football. But today, there ain't nothing you can say about that. He was getting folks the football.
He was.
Mike said we need run stoppers because it's the run and pass that don't get better. It's gonna be all on the offense, and Witt needs to improve so Jaden doesn't have to carry all 53 guys. That's my point. That's why I'm so happy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's why I'm so happy that I'm so happy that our kicker is so efficient because I think that's less pressure on Jaden's plate. Like now he can trust the situation of making this kick. Now, granted, they're going for it. Like I like them going for it because the kicker's leg isn't that thorough, like to be kicking them like a 60 or whatever yard kick or a high 50 kick. So I did like that Jay went for it. But to that point though, I am happy. Like I do want this defense to get a little better because I think Jaden now has to. Like Jaden had to be Superman today. You know what I mean? Like because you had Joe Burrow on the other side, so you had to match points because if you didn't score 7 or you were scoring 3. Basically, you saying to yourself, man, we get the ball back to Cincy, they can get 7 and then get back in this game and win it. Because just like Glenn said, I was like, dang, they're getting kind of close. Then it was like, we got to score here. If we don't score here and we got to kick this ball to Cincy, they don't get a game-winning touchdown. They're going to end this game. So to Glenn's point, like, you don't want Jaden to always feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to believe that your defense can stop somebody.
But here's the hope I would have for Michael and for what you're saying. At some point, this defense is going to see what they've got on the other side, and they might find that extra 5 to 10% because they're going to say, look at what Jaden's doing. We can't let this guy down. And maybe if they can find that extra 5, 10%, they can be a passable defense by the end of this year because that might be all they actually need to be is just don't be bottom 5. Get into the teens as a defense, and then we might have something.
Right, and one thing I like about it too, this how Jaden Daniels won the team over again tonight was he was asking for the ball on 4th down, right?
Yes.
He wanted to go for it on 4th down, and he was telling the team, "Let's go, send the play in. We're going for it on 4th down." And I think he didn't only win the heart of his team tonight. I think he won the heart of everybody watching and saying that you know what, Washington has a quarterback, right? All that Drake May talk people were talking about in August and talking about, they're not talking about that talk now, right? All that Caleb Williams talk they was talking about, they're not talking about that talk right now, right? All that Bo Nix talk they was talking about, they're not talking about that now. The best quarterback out of this draft currently going into week 3 is
definitely Jaden Daniels. Hell yeah. Totally agree.
And that's hands down.
There's
and a lot of it has to do with the coaching staff. A lot of it has to do with him understanding the offense. A lot of it may have to do with Zach Ertz. But he's
with Jaden.
No, he's just the best right now. That's just what it is. I don't even want to put anybody. I want to even put like parameters on it. He's the best right now. Yes, it is what it is. He's the best right now. And like when you play it and like with the bright lights, with everybody watching, your peers watching you. You know what I mean? And to make, and I'm seriously, to make, it's not just making plays like that touchdown to Terry, but like to keep it, to extend drives, making passes on 4th down. Like those big time plays, man, those are like, no, again, you got to understand the pressure, like, especially what I'm going to mention what, was it Mike? I think Mike said, especially thinking about like, bro, you got Joe Burrow on the other side. If I don't complete this pass, and we don't get this 1st down, Joe Burrow is going to probably take it and score and win the game. That is pressure. Like, you know, it's like, you know, your defense can't stop a nosebleed. So I got to do it. Like, I got to create a play. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be Superman. You didn't want to put your defense on the back of the field.
So for him to do that on Monday night on a primetime game, that shows you like the process, the growth, the confidence that this young man has. It's only going to get better. Like, so that's why it's not just that. I feel like there is a level of coolness and calmness to say, I'm going to make this throw.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't even want to put parameters like with Glenn, so I won't put parameters on it. Like, it could be the situation, whatever, because I just feel like, dude, when you play sports, Glenn, you coach sports, some dudes, man, you in that time and pressure where, like, the easiest thing becomes the hardest thing. Because now, because it's built up to a point where you're saying to yourself, if I don't make this play, or if I don't do this, we gonna lose. You know what I mean? He still was cool, calm, and accurate pass, got that 1st down. I was like, okay, all right. I was like, the coaching staff, you can call that. You calling that? Okay. Yeah. All right. You want to kick a field goal? Or you want to go for it? All right.
Which shows they have trust in him.
Yeah, and a passing play. Like it wasn't even like, you know, it was a passing play in the pocket, scramble and make a throw, and it was confident. So I mean, he gets all the credit, man. Young man has grown so much over the last some odd weeks, man. So much. Where everybody putting out like in this chat. I'm trying to and let me give Cliff Kingsbury his flowers. He called a great game.
He did. Yes. He did. He called a great game.
Yeah.
Ray said Marvin next. Left it out.
Oh, I heard him. I'm not going. Look. Everybody know I love Marvin. It is what it is. I'm not going to. We know every receiver kills the secondary. Don't matter who you are. You can't. If you're number one, if you're a number one receiver, the Washington defense, like if you got a number one receiver going against Washington defense, you doing fantasy football. That's a guarantee.
Yeah. Stack Kyler Murray and Maserati Marv next week.
It's a daily fantasy. Jamar Chase, everybody was like, man, Jamar Chase got his 2 touchdowns. He ain't do nothing to follow. He got 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Neighbors got busy. That was his best game this year. Neighbors had a good for this. His game against him was his best game.
At least Neighbors got busy yesterday, so we don't look quite as bad.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like his best game was still us.
Yeah.
You go to
And then Tampa.
Mike Evans got busy. He had 2 touchdowns. Correct?
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns. Right? Busy. Guarantee you have a number one wide receiver going against Washington. You're getting touchdowns. Now all you got to do is Jaden and the defense. You just got to try to, I mean, 30 is the benchmark. They're going against a high-powered offense. They got Kyler Murray, so it's going to be a little tougher. But we'll talk about that later. We don't have to talk about that now. But yeah, like in terms of today, they did their job. You know what I mean? They did their job. Offensively, they were amazing. Like you said, defensively, trash, super trash, like horrible, like disgusting. Like this is just disgusting. Like I don't even know. Like I feel like the question of Joe Witt, I think should be discussed though. I think the Joe Witt stuff should be discussed. Like I feel like people keep it real quiet with it, but it should be discussed because he is inexperienced in calling plays. So it should be discussed.
I mean, we aren't working with everything that we need to have in that defense yet. And it's just a reminder that you can't fix everything and you can't make up for everybody else's mistakes that were prior to you in one off season. Mm-hmm. This is going to just, I said this about the offensive line, but it's really true with just about every position group except maybe quarterback. Mm-hmm. It's going to take probably 2 to 3 drafts and off seasons to get not just the talent you need up front, that's front line, but to get the depth you need as well. Yes. And let's face it, that's it. While I want to see us shake it up a little bit in terms of I want to see Derek Forrest and maybe the Sanusium kid next week. You're absolutely right, Wole. This is what we got, like it or not, and we're going to have to deal with it. And Emmanuel Forbes can come back, and it's probably not going to get any better, but who knows? No. Maybe they can figure out something with him.
He's better than these dudes. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was better than whatever. He was. He's better than whatever. He was better than. I'm not gonna say St. Juice, but he was better than.
Well, but St. Juice was barbecue chicken today.
Oh yeah, he was too. Don't get twisted. No, don't get twisted. I say he didn't. I'm just saying. I'm giving St. Juice leeway because he had a good week the prior week. I'm just saying, boy, they started this week over on the other side in Noah.
Noah's been arguing.
Listen, you want to call for Joe Witt's head, right?
I ain't calling for his head. I'm just saying that.
I'm talking about the chat. Some say, Joe Witt is the Eric Bieniemy of the defense, right?
Ooh, dang.
Let's not overdo it on that. I mean,
not too far, right? But I'm saying he's not Jack Del Rio.
No.
Right? I think some of these guys are learning. They just learn at a slow curve. Mm-hmm. They learn at a slow curve, right? And they need to pick it up. You can. I've learned as a coach. You can tell people where they're supposed to be at. You can show them where they're supposed to be at. It is up to them to execute it, and that means somebody's not doing their job, and it's not the coach.
Carl said, "I wonder why Cincinnati didn't blitz more."
Yes, I think that's exactly it.
I think it was real scary.
And look, they tried a couple times, and he got out. He was able to get outside the pocket and make positive plays. And can we say this about Jaden Daniels too?
Yeah, I know Jack Del Rio was trash. That's no argument there. He was trash. Go ahead. Sorry.
Jaden Daniels didn't. I don't think he forced one throw tonight. He didn't really force any runs per se. Mm-hmm. He was taking what the defense gave him, and he was putting himself. I mean, that's the thing. Even the bad plays were not really bad plays. He took 1 sack tonight. That was it.
Yeah.
Jane Daniels, that's as close to a perfect game as you're going to get, basically.
He played. Amazing game. Paul, this ain't happening. This ain't happening because I think he played. I think Matt Lattimore. No, this ain't happening. No, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not gonna happen.
No, just if we're gonna trade Allen, which at this point I'm on board with because I'm tired of him. We're gonna get draft picks for him. And the thing is,
I'm with you. I just think Paul, they're not going. The Saints are contending. They're not going to trade it. Not going to trade Lattimore.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No trade at all.
Yeah, but go ahead. No, go ahead, George. I cut you off.
Well, I mean, I just that extra draft capital because that's the thing. Even if Allen's sticking it up here, people have seen his good tape, know what he's capable of. He's going to have value, even with that contract. Mm-hmm. And if he can fetch us 2 middle round picks, Adam Peters will find us a guy. He found Fred Warner was a 3rd round pick. Drake Greenlaw, I think, was a 5th round pick. Mm-hmm. Adam Peters has found guys, really good defensive players, not even in round 1 or 2, in the middle of the draft. So I urge everybody, as frustrated as we are with this defense, as frustrated as you might be with Joe Witt, patience on that because Adam Peters has done this before. He has built a defense in the middle of the draft, found great players, and I really feel like he can do it again. But it's like you say, this is what we got, and we're just going to have to. We may be having these kind of conversations every week.
Well, I mean,
they're going to lose some games.
Sometimes it's just I feel like this personnel. Some people when we don't value, it's wild. All right, I'm just joking. When Joe Gibbs came here, part 2.0. When 2.0, mm-hmm. I'm old enough. I don't know some of y'all are old enough to remember 2.0, but I remember 2.0. Some people in the chats, I don't know if y'all remember are old enough. But in 2.0, when he first got here, and he brought Greg Williams. That's why we're gonna reference Greg Williams for this. Like the talent that they had, the defense they had prior was pretty much the same pieces. It was trash. They were horrible. Like there were questions in the second. There were questions all around. Like on certain, they didn't have a pass rush. Like their pass rush was none. But then when Greg got here, like they did add, like they obviously drafted Sean Taylor, but Sean Taylor was kind of getting worked in slowly. It wasn't like he was starting off there; they were working him in slowly. Right? He found Ryan Clark that was a journeyman, made him into like a safety. He was a cornerback, made him to a safety. Antonio Pierce used to play special teams. Never really wasn't a starter. He moved Antonio Pierce to the mic to play middle linebacker. And that
undrafted free agent too. Undrafted free agent.
So like, if you said that to yourself, so if I said that all to you about these players, these no-name players, you would say not talented, whatever. Greg Williams made that a top 3 defense. They were number 1 for a while. So when you say not talented, I come back and say, yeah, you're right. They may not be as talented for an ordinary coach to make it work. Like, so an ordinary coach can take the most talented player and make that defense into something special, right? Like, because that you have the talent alone. You got the talent alone. So if I had like what's the old boy in Miami? Jalen Ramsey. If I had Jalen Ramsey and I had, let's say I had what's my guy? Sauce Gardner on the other locked in, and I had like one of the best linebackers or whatever. You can give me an average coach, and you would expect that coach to still have me as a top 10 defense, right? Because of the talent. But now if you're a coach that's coaching it up, you may not need all of that. If I'm Bill Belichick, I don't need all of that.
Brian Flores doesn't need all that in Minnesota.
I'm just saying. So my point is, like, when you look, so when it comes to coaching, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying like Joe Witt, we got to assess Joe Witt to a certain extent. It's like, all right, you don't have that talent. So what kind of coach are you? Are you that coach that makes people better? Or are you that coach that needs talent? You need a lot of talent for your system to really work.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Glenn. You're on mute, bud. You're on mute. Glenn, you're on mute.
You got all these assistant coaches too, though. That's their job, right? He's a coordinator. You got the assistant coaches who their job is to make these guys ready, right? Get them ready to play. Get them prepared to play. And so they oversee it. Like you talked about when you was at camp. You're my man Tap, right? He was getting the D-line.
Yeah,
getting on, right? Getting on. Now, I thought the D-line played better tonight, watching the game. They may not have the numbers that people are used to, but watching the game, I thought the D-line played better. They had a couple sacks tonight. They put pressure on Joe Barrow. Dante Fowler missed 2 sacks, right?
He had a sack, but he missed a few. He missed a couple, yeah.
He missed a few. So, again, defense had pressure. They played a little bit better. Each game, remember, this is a work in progress as well. This is on the defensive side of the ball. It's a work in progress. Not saying they're going to be world beaters or going to be the 2000 Ravens or 85 Bears, but this team could do better than what they've done. And I think I don't want to put all the pressure on Joe Witt. You put some of the pressure on the position coaches as well to get the players ready to play.
No, I agree. I agree. I just felt like I do think that I'm gonna be real. I think that he's a coach that needs a lot of talent. And it's not, I mean, some people do. It's cool. He's just not one of those guys like we look in the if you're offensive coordinator, if you're like a Kyle Shanahan or somebody like, he's not one of those guys like who can you can give him certain pieces and he can make it work.
Right.
I think Joe Witt is the type of dude that needs really talented players. Like he's gonna need an official, like a defensive ends who can like really create havoc. He's gonna need that. He's gonna need a lockdown corner. He needs a legit lockdown corner. He needs that type of, like, he can't scheme it up. He needs a legit lockdown corner. He needs legit safeties. Like he does. He's that type of dude. You know what I mean? These dudes, the safeties he needs, that need to be high caliber safeties. You know what I mean? I think Martin's gonna be fine. I think he's fine. So I'm not gonna like Quan is gonna be fine. But like he's gonna need other players that play at a certain level. And that's not a knock. I mean, that's just who he is. He's just not what I thought he probably would be. He's not like I look at Dan Quinn that way, to be honest with you. I look at Dan Quinn as a dude that can get the best out of lower talent. I'm going to say lower, but lesser talent, because he's done that to me in the past. Like, I've seen Dan Quinn do it. I've seen Dan Quinn do it in Atlanta. Seattle was built. They built that, so it's different. Dallas, when he came to Dallas, he turned that whole thing around in Dallas. Because the year before, they were trash. He came in and turned the same roster. Other than the same roster. Did they add Micah that year in his first year too?
Mm-hmm.
That same roster with Micah turned it up. All I'm saying is like he is But again, you're giving play calling duties to a guy who that's on your staff, and you want to you want to give him that experience. Give him the opportunity, because word was they wanted Harris out of Dallas.
Right,
That's what they really wanted.
Jerry Jones blocked it.
Yeah, that's what they really wanted, and it is what it is. So we'll see. What's my man Todd say? But I will say this: backbone to all Greg Williams' defense was press cover. Greg always had press corners, smooth springs. Yes, he did.
Yes,
and these corners can't do that, or they will be. You think they're getting cooked now? Oh God,
they get ate up. They get ate up.
But Magic out here tweeting, man. Been tweeting for the last 30 minutes. Magic out here tweeting
because we on prime time. So only time Magic gonna pay attention to us because we're on prime time.
It is. To your point, that's what he says. The difference tonight from last week is we got into the end zone and scored touchdowns. I'm so happy for the big stage on Monday night. Was not too much for the Commanders team. Coach Quinn and his staff had a great game plan for tonight's matchup, and it showed.
And the whole country sees that this is not the same. This is what we were talking about before the game. We don't want to be sitting here at this time of night saying the same old Commanders. This is not the same old Commanders.
It is going to be a buzz.
And they showed it tonight.
They created a buzz for the NFL. NFL teams are going to take notice. NFC East teams are going to take notice. ESPN is going to take notice. Vegas is going to take notice. They would talk about this team because this team put on a show. Think about it. This team has this offense, and I say this offense has been able to move the football. Last week, they moved the football against the New York Giants. Just didn't punch it in zone. This week, was able to move the football against Cincinnati. They moved the ball in week 1 as well. Oh, so now you see, and I don't even think they even sniff the surface of what this offensive playbook can do, because I think they're giving him more confidence, which is him being Jaden Daniels. When they really open this thing up, I think this team is going to be flying around like crazy.
Yeah, Chin was supposed to be legit. Unfortunately, he's just not legit.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be legit.
He's
supposed to be. Something that my man Mike said, I didn't read this earlier. And our cap next season with the rollover from the cap season, we will be able to get some talent in free agency and through trading Allen for picks.
Well, it's funny because
we're also winning. And when you win, people want to come to Washington.
That too. I think James
funny
people want to come.
There was a lot of complaints about not spending all the way to the cap, and I think that was Adam Peters' plan all along, was to have extra cap space for next year, because it isn't just the draft. We may end up there may be a really good cornerback that some team doesn't want to pay, and we'll have the cap space to pay, and we trade for him because we're going to have the extra ammo to do that, to be able to trade for either a really good linebacker or a really good corner or something like that to help us, because somebody's like, well, I don't want to be here because I'm not going to get paid or whatever. So, that's what's really great about something like tonight is that it gives you the opportunity to speed this process up, because you asked if it was still a rebuild, Glenn. I think it still is in terms of the roster, but the fact of the matter is a win like tonight can speed everything up and speed this process along, because like you say, if this team goes on and has 8, 9, 10 wins, whatever it is, even if they don't make the playoffs, people are going to see this place is going up. The arrow's trending up, and I want to be here, because you want to be on when the elevator's going up, you want to get on 100%.
Well, man, you said rebuild. We said no rebuild. What are you talking about rebuild?
It still is with his roster. This roster needs a lot of work.
Look, man, if you win in 9 games, it's a hard rebuild, because that means you ain't drafting right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to still be – look, we're going to still have a first-round pick regardless. You know what I'm saying? We're going to –
I think
we in range to win the division. I don't know what y'all like the Eagles.
It is a momentum shift. I'm gonna put it this way: it's a momentum shift for the Commanders and the fan base.
It is. That's the truth.
It is a momentum shift.
Oh man, could you imagine if they Could you imagine if they win against Arizona and they come back home?
Oh Lord,
the fan base. Could we really give Northwest Stadium? Could it be like rocking? Could that be a thing? What? That would be insane. That vibe. See, 2012 is coming back, man. It's coming back.
I would tell you how you know it come back when ticket prices start rising.
Say what?
When ticket prices start rising, you know it's back.
Yeah, it's about to, dog. 2 more.
Because they got a 4 or 5 game against the Cardinals. You figure the next 2 games, you got the Cardinals and you have the Browns.
Ooh, the Browns game's here.
Brown game, yes. The Brown game's in.
Browns game going beast. Man,
Brown
don't go out there and shock Arizona and beat Arizona. Man, and Jaden going back to Arizona.
Right.
What? Man. Nah, this is
5.
Nah, it's 2012 vibes. Don't knock my vibe. I know that's it. Paul, we was vibing until you said like Paul, 2012 vibes, bro.
Yes. And then if you get past, I'm not want to think too heavy, but if you get past the Ravens, you have the Panthers and the Bears coming in.
I mean, get past the Ravens. That's okay though. But let me be in my. You know what? I take that back. We getting past the Ravens. I'm in my mode again. I'm back. I told myself I'm back.
Well, I mean, the challenge
for
that Arizona game is to
return to
off this high. Is to come off this high and back this up with a W in Arizona, because that's going to be emotional. This is going to be an emotional challenge this week because my Lord,
Danny,
this is so huge.
I'm with you, man. Danny, I ain't for this negativity, man. I love Marvin. I don't want to talk about Marvin today. Don't let me talk about Marvin.
Oh, he's gonna cook somebody, dog.
Look, man. I'm not talking about Marvin. I'm not talking about. Look, this is good vibes day. It's good vibes. It's good vibes. I'm not gonna talk about Marvin. Let me talk about Marvin later.
Terry's gonna cook a few too. Terry's gonna cook a few.
Yeah, exactly. Terry gonna cook. Because he know why he gonna cook. George, know why he's gonna cook? You know why?
Because of Jaden Daniels.
No, he's a number 1. That's why he's gonna cook.
Yes, you're right.
It just may be a shootout. It may be a shootout in Arizona.
Yeah, how impressed? All right, Andy, how impressed was Jaden Daniels slide? Yeah, that slide was impressive.
That's the other thing. Yeah, we don't have to hear about that anymore. Jaden Daniels can't slide. The slide was perfect.
I was getting annoyed by that thing. I was like,
I still would rather him dive forward because you could still be vulnerable to some dirty player when you slide, but he could not do that any better. The slide was perfect.
Perfect slide.
Yeah, I was all for it, man. All for it. I was like, good job, bro. I was like, as soon as he slid, I went on Twitter, I went on X, and was like, I use explicit words to tell folks about their whole sliding thing. I was like, screw your slides. You know what I mean? Because I hate the slide narrative. Hey, Roy, you sure you a Commanders fan, man? You really going in, bro. You my guy right now, but you going in for a Commanders fan. I thought I was. Hey, Roy, I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was negative. The old me was negative. I'm talking about me last week. I thought I was very negative. With you,
I don't mind him putting a little shoulder in and not taking full hits. Not getting his bell rung. If you ain't got to slide, don't slide. I think he used this wisely. I think he used the sideline wisely as well tonight as well.
Yes.
Too.
Yes, he did. No, this game from Jaden Daniels. I mean, I can't believe it because that is again. That's if somebody doesn't give Jaden Daniels an A+ tomorrow, what's wrong with him?
Oh,
seriously,
he's getting rookie of the week.
Yeah,
no question. No question.
Like, sorry, neighbors, you're not getting it this week. Sorry, buddy.
No, neighbors getting it this week.
Thought you were going to get it being the youngest receiver? No.
Nope.
Or Bo Nix, who had a really good game in Tampa.
Wasn't good enough. You didn't do it on prime time.
Didn't do it in prime time.
I don't care. You beat who beat the Tampa? I don't care about Tampa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Tampa just smacked us around week 1.
Don't care about Tampa.
Come on.
Don't care about Tampa. I don't care about Tampa.
Look,
but Cal Jones is right. That is the problem. That may very well be the difference.
And keeping us from being this year's Texans. I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And Joe Witt. There you go. I added Joe Witt for you. Y'all want to add it, I'll add Joe Witt for you. Yeah. Y'all want to say it, but it's cool. Like, I'll say it. I know what y'all really be thinking though, so it's okay. Yeah, I agree with this. He got to stop getting hit though. Like, I will agree with that. Like,
he does stop getting hit.
But he didn't take a lot of big hits tonight.
He took the one at the middle where he did one stupid hit. I don't call it stupid. Like, one hit because he wanted the first down so bad. He did the defense. He got the first down, but it is what it is. Dan just said don't want to rush Eckler back since he's going to be in concussion protocol. He's a huge part of the
Agreed.
Offense. I know we don't have him against Arizona. That's going to hurt. If we don't have him against Arizona, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, That's the biggest negative tonight, really. Even more than this defense.
Does Arizona have? I mean, Arizona plays fast. That's what I like about Arizona. They don't. I don't know. Like I want to Buda Baker like that. He be smacking folks. Yeah. But
Arizona's very aggressive. They seem like they leave their corners. Aggressive. They seem like they leave their corners on an island a lot.
Yeah, they're aggressive. I like the way they play. Oh, Wiley. Yeah. I would love him to call it Wiley as the running back. Yeah, call him up.
Yeah,
not a bad idea.
I don't like what's his face. What's his name?
Rodriguez?
No, the one
McNichols.
I don't like McNichols. I'm not a big fan of McNichols. Yeah, barbecue chicken for McLaurin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man De'Ami Brown, man. He played tough. He got a screen. He got smacked, man. And he tried to make some big plays. I appreciate that. I appreciate him trying to take the L for the team. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I mean he's trying to get the ball. You got to make the opportunities you get very well. Yeah, and he had an opportunity, so
true.
Make the best of your opportunity.
True. That's true. So true. Zach Ertz. Also, I'm gonna go back to what my man Mike said, man, earlier. Game ball. Mike, hey, let me define Mike's chat. Who would you get the game ball to, Mike?
Gosh,
I should put a star on this.
Can we split it in half?
Go for it, Mike. If you got Mike, put out who would you have as getting the game ball? Go ahead, Glenn.
I gotta give it to Terry. I gotta give it to Jaden Daniels tonight. Right. That performance, 21 for 23, over 200 some yards, touchdown, passing touchdown, rushing touchdown. Kept the ball, 8 different receivers, and no turnovers. Jaden Daniels get the ball.
Well, what about you, George? I'm trying to find Mike's tweet.
Well, they usually give multiple game balls out to people, so Jaden Daniels definitely deserves one. This offensive line deserves one. Open the holes for Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler before he got hurt. Yeah. Gave Jaden Daniels time on a lot of those throws, and Jaden Daniels had an awesome game. Trent Scott catches a touchdown. Nick Allegretti's fumble recovery on Ertz's fumble is one of the huge plays of this game.
Yes, it is.
Jaden Daniels wasn't running for his life back there all the time. Wasn't getting knocked around like a piñata. Let's give them linemen. Let's give those big uglies a game ball because they deserve one.
My man Paul said the whole offense.
You could.
My man Roy said, "No, man, you are going hard, bro."
Dang, dude, this is a great win, Rory. What's up?
Yeah, Mike, Jaden Daniels definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
Taj, game balls, Jaden Daniels, Terry, offensive line, and Austin Eckler. Yeah, Austin Eckler.
Austin
Eckler,
bro.
Yeah.
I put Dandon out there. I think I did Dandon, Terry, O-line.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, it's easy. I can go Jaden. I want to go Jaden for real, but that's easy. So I'm just gonna stick to my stick. The true number one receiver.
Yeah. Yes, he's back.
You know what I'm saying?
Back again.
I've been saying number one receiver, the ones that you know what I don't like. So now I'm a vent. I'm gonna go ham. Now I'm gonna go ham for real.
Throw up the ones.
It's like people don't throw the ones, bro. Go ham. The ones. He's number one. Put the ones up. No, know why? It's because people forget. They like this fan base will doubt you. They forget the work you put in the game. They forget that you didn't have a quarterback for like years while in DC. You had Case Keenum.
Did you see that graphic they showed all the quarterbacks he caught a pass from?
Yeah, exactly. They have Case Keenum.
That was a motley crew.
A done Carson Wentz. He had Fitzpatrick for a little bit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Heineke.
He had Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen. Was it Josh Allen? What's the Allen? The other kid. Not Josh Allen.
Josh Johnson.
No, not Josh Johnson. The one who played for Ron's dude. Ron Rivera, he's a Carolina dude.
Oh, Kyle
Allen. Kyle Allen.
Thank you.
Thank you. All these dudes are trash, but still is putting up 1,000 yards. Number one wide receiver. Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. All these dudes were they weren't the ones.
Motley crew of mediocrity is what he's had.
Still put 1,000 yards. Yeah, sorry. Yes, this dude. Garrett Gilbert.
That's right.
And we're doubting him.
Yo, he don't get open. My wife was like, who? She's like, I know everybody on the board. When was Garrett Gilbert the quarterback?
Exactly.
It was a COVID game with Philadelphia.
Yeah,
and we out here doubting. And fan people on the fan base like, man, Terry can't get open. He can't do this. He can't do that. Jaden Daniels is good enough to get him the ball, but we doubting Terry McLaurin. We doubting him. Like, we literally throwing out there like, you have people saying Noah Brown was better than Terry. I think Noah Brown may be better than Terry McLaurin. No. I saw this on X. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And it's not like he didn't get open in Tampa. He was overthrown in Tampa. He could have had a touchdown pass in Tampa. When folks try to say in the second game of the season, y'all tried to say he didn't get open against the Giants. You look at tape, he was open against the Giants. So he had to prove it to y'all.
Yeah.
He had to prove it to you little hating fan base. Some of you little hating fan base folks. I wanted to curse, but I had to change myself. He had to change the narrative for y'all. Because some of y'all try to spin this little narrative. Some of y'all little reporters try to spin this little narrative about Terry. And what'd he do? What'd he do? What'd he do? On Monday night, the place where freaking Stan Tanner Moss did his thing. On Monday night, Terry gave you 2 freaking touchdowns. And want to end the game and say, bye, Felicia. Put respect on Terry's name. He is number 1. Put some respect on it. Give him that game ball. I'm done.
He's back. Back again. Terry's back. Tell a friend. Terry's back. Terry's back. Terry's back.
You just don't want him to disappear on Sunday. That's all.
He don't disappear. Give him the ball. That's what it means. If Taylor Heineke can give him the ball, everybody give him the ball.
That's the other thing. Those 2 deep balls, you could not have dropped it.
Perfect pass
from 2 feet away, and they couldn't have been placed any better.
That's a perfect pass. That's credit to him. That's credit to Jaden.
Yeah, but it's like
credit to Jaden.
Can you imagine how long Terry McLaurin has waited for a quarterback who could make those damn throws?
That's what I'm saying. You got the quarterback who can make these throws. Like, once Jaden gets used to letting it rip, my thing wasn't about Jaden. It was like, don't use that to diminish what Terry's doing, because Jaden is growing. Like, once he gets when he gets used to it, he gonna be locked up with Jaden. He gonna be locked up with Terry. It's gonna happen. He gonna be locked up with him. It's gonna happen. But don't come out here and knock him and say, well, is Terry a number 1? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? If Terry's playing for freaking Patrick Mahomes, are we questioning that? We're gonna say Terry's number 1. So don't do that.
And just a reminder for everybody, before Washington signed into an extension, they could have got 2 first-round picks for him. Teams were lining up to try and trade for Terry McLaurin when they thought he might get out of here.
Yeah.
Point that out.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Just put some respect on Terry's name. Because it just wasn't fans. I seen y'all reporters out there. I know what y'all spit. I know y'all spitting. Just want y'all to know I was here. I'm here. Right. I just want you to know I see it. So I want to see y'all. I want that same energy in y'all tweets. I want that same energy. I want y'all to be like, oh, Terry, what a great game by. No, I don't want to say what a great game by Terry. I want you to say he's still a number 2 receiver. I want you to say. No, I don't want you to say that he's a number. I don't want you to even don't give him his flowers. Say what you said. Because one performance shouldn't change your mind if you really feel it. If you stamp on that, if you own business, stay with it. He a number 2 receiver. Stay with that. Don't let the tape when he opened, just ignore it. When he scored a touchdown, just ignore it. Stay on your business. Stay on business. Stay on business. Because I'm gonna stay on mine. I'm gonna keep telling y'all he number 1. I'm gonna keep telling. Look, I'm a Michigan dude repping Ohio State receiver, so you know it's real. Staying on business. You know what time it is when that dude get the ball, he make plays, bro. Can't deny it. Can't deny it.
You can't. Well, that's why I told you guys earlier. It needed to be yards after catch. He got the ball, and it was yards after catch today.
Yeah,
and they got him going early too.
It got him going early. He was able to blow the top off, and that was a good thing.
I'm sorry. I'm for it. You got him going early. All right, man. This was dope, man. Appreciate y'all, man. We gotta close this show off, man. That's good, man. It's midnight. It's over past midnight. We got sleep, so we got work. I got a real job. Y'all got me yelling about Terry McLaurin. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. Y'all got my real energy back.
I ain't going to sleep for a while, honestly.
I know, George. You're right. George, I'm about to watch highlights. My brother called me. Talking about we gonna rap and shoot the breeze about this upset victory. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
One final thought about Jaden Daniels. I have one final thought about Jaden Daniels before we get out of here.
Go for it.
This is his first primetime game. He's going up against the one LSU quarterback that he chased that he didn't eclipse. Yeah. He's except for Joe Burrow, he's the best quarterback LSU's ever had.
Facts.
You know this game meant a lot to him, and you know he put a lot of pressure on himself, and he probably had a lot of pressure put on him by everybody else because that was the narrative. True. Two Heisman Trophy winning QBs from LSU, Burrow and Daniels, and Burrow's been in the Super Bowl too. Mm-hmm. Right. So for Jaden Daniels to come up with this in this spot, given the gravity of the moment, just tells you what an amazing young man we have at the trigger for Washington.
Yes. Yeah. Just got to keep him healthy. Keep him healthy.
We got to keep him healthy. We're going to end it on that. Great words, George. Appreciate it, man. Hey, before we end the show, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything and hit us up on IG at ABG_everything and like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. If you are watching this on our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel, please hit that red subscribe button. And also like this video, man. Appreciate y'all for being in on this chat, man. This is great, man. This is Victory. What's that? Victory Tuesday now, man. Victory Tuesday. Monday night.
Hey, put your shoulders back, put your head high, and walk into work like you know somebody.
Feel good about yourself, bro. Look, man, we on one now. We the NFC East leaders right now. Nobody can see us. Putting them power rankings up. You already know what time it is. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. For all ages. You dig? Deuces. Commanders, we out.